Okay, let's have a little think. You can see all this stuff I was doing here. Trying, like wondering if I said it prior to that. Like that's, to be fair, that's something I didn't try. Like I have no information. Right, I'm just gonna, I think, actually kind of go for this. I'm not sure what the things I haven't done are. Maybe I will stick some extra things in, like here. Like a new message. Failed to start render process. Okay, back to debug build, I think. Our render I will just build. Will I build at release? You know, I am going to build at release. Okay with all this? Nope, not there. Oops. Close like so. Save. Have another go. I've just realized something. Well, I'm going to have to do this again. And the reason I'm going to have to do it again is because I need a little bit of extra. I need something else here. What I need is if file type okay, right. Local file name string equals appdir plus render update file. File name. Okay, maybe I don't need to do that, but I need to do like I need to delete the old one, basically. I don't want to add something to this. I want to I think that's what I want to do. Basically, if I need to delete file, fn. File type none. I'll try that. Okay, compile again. It probably would have kept working that time and time again. Now, in here, oh, good. Render update. Render error, recursor project file render not found. Okay, thanks. Inside my other compile product thing, I have these three things, which I delete, and I copy in the new render. And then I decide I'm going to build main. I decide I'm going to build it with a debugger on, and I compile. And I wait with beta, and I'm stunned by the fact I managed to parse all that. I added, changed, rearranged, made a mess of a load of pieces of code. But on it goes. This is going to be episode 65. And I'd say well, we'll see how this works. Maybe a couple of episodes out in my prediction, because I thought that it would be this episode, or I predicted vaguely that it would be this episode that I was getting to going through this process with reading a log file to update myself on a sub-process, an actual process, for the ffmpeg command. I'm not quite there yet. If this runs and works, I'll feel some steps towards it. Okay, well, it ran. Getting 9 frames a second, no surprise. Give me just a new project. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Never remembers the zoom level. That's a problem. Now, I'm going to go for gradient initially. And I will just say -1. In here, I'll add 2 recursions. And what the heck, in here, 5. 1 frame. Okay. With this setup, I close, and I just run it again. Because if it crashes, or if something daft happens, I want this simple setup in front of me. I wish it would remember my size and position. I did kind of try and have a go at making it do that, but I never quite managed. Windows is where I'm going to dump this file, well, the Windows directory of recursor. And here we go. This isn't clever enough to see the update until you revisit the thing. Here we go. Render complete. I missed it say something else. Let me wait 10 seconds. And it's gone. And now it's saying nothing. I want to be able to display something else. Recursor image as I would want. Let's just see. And it's not a render complete. Well, one thing is, got render update. Don't know why. Well, actually I suppose if it took less than a second, that's why. I'll send a message immediately saying rendering begun. That's the first thing. Initially I'm pleased with this, it seemed, but actually I gotta admit, it's kind of only going to be when okay, I'll perform this change, which was to do what? was to display something on it succeeding, which is this, which is new message, rendering begun, plus fn. Let me see if I can force it to take a little longer. Let's not make that -1. Let's make it 100. And put this up to 8. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not getting very interesting outputs, of course, for rendering. I want to see again what I can see as I do this. Static, cursor image, do it. Rendering begun, this. Render complete. There and gone again. And there it is, a grayscale image. And let me just see. Rendering begun, render complete. Everything's too spaced out. I'm going to do another 2 recursions. If I can force it to take more than a second. Yeah, it's starting to get somewhere. I'll do another recursion. Another 2 recursions. It's going to take ages. What I want to do is see that disappeared as well. Little thing. Rendering begun. Doing a thing. Now, I feel like it should have... It's not giving me any update. I think it finished though, didn't it? Did it? What on earth happened? It thinks it's gone. Where? It's become a background process, you're telling me? I'm getting confused. Come back, Task Manager. Nope. Yeah, okay. And that could be it, I've forgotten. Render update is blank. just said render complete. Render update suddenly has something in it. What on earth? Okay, it took bloody ages. It didn't display. Oh, okay. Right. Render update doesn't get updated until the file is closed. This is frustrating. On the one hand, it means, well, it's not the end of the world that I have to open open and close the file every time I want to stick something in it on the render side. That's okay, and it'll end up, the longest it'll wait is another second. And it can always be displaying the last thing that the render file had in it, and it'll be a short little, it'll look like that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Is this just can't keep render update file open the whole time? That's fine though, I just need another little function, which is render update void new line string equals if new line equals return, and in here I say well, what do I say? I suppose I make a local. This isn't going to happen super often, which is just fs file stream equals file stream open fn actor plus render update file. Comma right fs right line nl fs close fs equals null. Okay, so now at the beginning here, when main is entered, this bit does happen. It deletes the file, it opens the file, and actually that's, no, I don't need to do this bit because open to, am I right in thinking this? If it exists it opens and I write it to the end? Basically that's what I'm going for, and I'm going to see if it works. So if it doesn't exist, it at the moment if it doesn't exist it's opening it, and yeah. So here I just say update render. What did I call it? My memory for the stupid names I give. Render update. Oh. And the render update is render kind of pointless one, and I'll just leave it at that. It's not totally pointless. And in abandon, I will keep the abandon function. This should just not be a problem. I should be able to just say render finish, which is render update, render finish. And here again, I should be able to say render update this stuff. And that will open, write, and close it. And then I do the app terminate. So here it's not also logfs write line. It's never logfs write line. It's always render update. Why is it not recognizing my lovely function? It's because I'm not the main program. Render update. Now, actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother with this. These things are pointless. No, I will. Okay, I'm not going to bother with that one. I want as few as possible, basically, because it takes a little second every time I will say render update. Okay, well, once again, release build. I don't think I'm making a mess of any of this. Oh boy, it's quite a chunk of stuff. Okay, once again, yep, release. Will you accept my speakings? Good, thank you. I wish I would remember to remove render update, but I can have a little look at it now. Not found, that's fine. And again, take away all of these and copy that in. And did I do something to this? I didn't really, but I'm expecting the changes I made there to... I will go back to a debug build though and run this. So now the difference I'm expecting is that once a second the little bit of information at the top of the screen will change. And I've still got loads of recursions. Or it won't change, but it'll tell me what it's actually doing. I want to be able to see the task manager again. I was extremely disconcerted by what happened last time. And I want to see that. And I want recursor image skewed. And I want this to go for it. Rendering single image, that got that right. And now it's just doing it. And once a second this will come back, so that'll never go away as long as that's running. This has render running. 96% using, I guess, another core. It's still telling me it's rendering single image. Now if I click static right now, will it be so clever? And this is still saying, yeah, rendering away, doodling and doodling. And I can tell that the last thing in render update is rendering single image. Wow, it's working its socks off. And you know, I could make it, wonder if I can ever see it, sense that it's being interrupted for a moment. You know what I mean? Or do I know what I mean? Like I'm just dragging this around and wondering, when is that update occurring? And why is there corruption at the top of my screen? I can really not quite believe how long that's taking. And I'm not noticing anything. Oh, there it goes. Ping, render complete. Okay. There's the recursor image. It's not that beautiful, but it is what it is. And this back to about 40 megabytes, as it should be. I've lost track of where my lines are. Soon the next thing that will happen to improve, well, not the next thing, one of the things that will soon happen to improve this is that the guides will look better. If the rest of this starts to kind of, sort of continue to work, I will, I'm getting more buttons now, take the recursions down to 10 or to 11, static, save, okay, rendering begun, rendering single image, and I'm gone again. I'm gone from. That is so upsetting to see. It's 100% CPU because, you know, so there's some little sneaky hacker. And I know it's there. It's like this still works. This is a program which is still functioning. This is get render complete. Cursor image. How fine that is to see. Now, do I get my yeah, just main now, just main, just 40 megabytes. That's as it should be. Yeah, just about right. Okay, this time I render static recursor image, do it, rendering single image. Now I say static, oops, do you want to overwrite, okay, start current, okay, rendering begun, start a new one, what do you think about that? Of course it's chucked off there, naturally. Rendering single image, wow. Whew. Taking its time. I don't think it liked that. Render complete. Main. Just main, 40 megabytes. There is the bad boy. With a better palette, that would be pretty cool. Well, how do I feel about all this? Extremely anxious. I feel nice that this is just coming back to about 40 megabytes. That's kind of, you know, we'll go between somewhere 38 and 50 or 60 depending on things. Once a second might be too much to check. But before I even try rendering animation, I'm going to go and look at directing the output of ffmpeg to a text file so that I can do something similar in our render relating to ffmpeg. And that would be very nice. Well, I must admit, I'm fairly pleased with that. It's just gone past 30 minutes. And it's working. I'll close these things. I will take a little look at render update. All it says is render complete. Before I go, is that absolutely... Oh. Okay, yeah, right. It's really just showing the last thing. Okay. Well, that's the way it is. I suppose you open to read and write, read to the end, then start writing. Silly me. But that's okay in a way for the purposes of this, because this, it is giving a correct piece of information out, and it is being picked up by the recursor. So that's fine, as far as it goes. I'll just have to remember, of course, that this should be RW. I have to get to the end of the file, and then I have to write the things, then I have to close it. Previously I had the file open the whole time and was writing line after line, but in that circumstance I couldn't read anything from the recursor program. I am pleased. I'm going to take away this debug write, and I'm going to take away this debug write. I'm going to start bloody looking at that on-screen new message thing. That's the only debug write I've come across. Okay. Also, I must admit, it seems to be working. This bit seems to be working. I haven't done this yet, and this bit I did do, and it seemed to work. Extraordinary. Okie dokie. I'll bet this didn't work. Surely. I'm gonna have, I will have to do another external test. Anyway, I'm gonna look into ffmpeg and directing its output so I can read it next time.